Welcome back. It's another episode of If I Die Tomorrow, and I'm your host, Nicole. And this week, we're going to confront one of the most painful forms of disappointment: unsaid words. I just did that episode on Halloween, tried to bring light and fun and history and origins and all of that fun stuff, and I hit us with this now. I'm so glad you joined me today. It's fall. Days are shorter. It gets darker faster. Can kind of bring a lot. And then I'm going to throw this topic in here. But we need to face these things, and we can face them together. So I'm glad that you joined this journey with me. I'm glad that you came back today. And I really appreciate you. And I hope if this resonates that you share this with somebody that maybe they need it too. So I'm going to dive into today's topic. And I'm going to let you know the topic is, actually the title for this episode is going to be The Almost Said Letter. And that can be quite loaded. It's about not taking your disappointments to the grave with you. I would like you to just think of one person. I'm really big on that. Just one. Because it's that little step. Just one makes it so much easier than for me to say, pick 5, pick 10. How about 2? I'm trying to do this in a easily digestible, less confronting way that's a little bit easier and doesn't send anxiety through the roof. We all have it. And now that, the days are getting shorter and, things can happen. And I'm looking out today to a very kind of gray day that's really windy outside. And I am so grateful for it. I know it doesn't sound like something you'd be really grateful for, but I am really grateful for it. But let's jump in, shall we? Again, just one. Pick just one. Whether it's a parent, a sibling, a spouse, a child, an adult child, a partner, a coworker, a friend, an old friend. Just one. And is there something, if you honestly reflect, is there something that you feel you need to say to them? Maybe it's a thank you or an apology. Or maybe it's a word of forgiveness. I'm going to ask, why haven't you said it yet? You know no one gets out of here alive. We often take silence to the grave. And the people we leave behind are left guessing because we didn't say what we needed to say. I don't want that for you. Today we're going to do an exercise, which this is different, but we're writing a letter, as in the topic, the almost said letter. And it's a really genuine way to make you look at things differently and give you an outlet for that. So the pretense behind the almost said letter is it's the one that you would be frantically writing and trying to finish on your final day. And this is emotional and it hits hard because if we're honest, there is always going to be somebody that we should apologize to, give forgiveness, or share gratitude. We're going to do this right now so that it is never an almost. The weight of unsaid words is a lot. Disappointment is heavy, but the disappointment in silence is crushing. I've talked about it. We're trying to stop shoving rocks in our backpack because we don't need that weight anymore. You don't need it. You don't deserve it. So stop putting the rocks in the backpack. I know those straps are rated for a whole lot of weight, but we don't need to test that limit. It's okay. I'm learning just like you are to stop putting the rocks in my backpack. I know I just don't need any more rocks. I have enough rocks. Silence, I will say this though, silence is not always peace. Sometimes it's just delayed pain. And when I was putting together this episode, that hit like the ton of rocks that are in my backpack to realize that silence isn't always peace. Sometimes it is just inevitably delaying the pain from the unspoken words. Let's stop doing that today. When we withhold words of love or fail to apologize or even stop offering forgiveness, we aren't protecting ourselves. Again, another lie we tell ourselves. I'm sick of lying to myself. So we're actually, and I just think about it in a new way. We aren't actually protecting ourselves. We're building a wall in a relationship that we shouldn't be building a wall in. If I die tomorrow, I don't want the last thought I shared with a loved one to be trivial. The only way to ensure this is to make the important conversations a priority every day. And that's hard. But if we do that, then things get better. We don't have as many rocks anymore. They can be pretty. I'm not saying rocks can't be pretty. I just don't need to carry them. And I don't need to add. It's okay to see a pretty rock and leave it. The almost said letter can take 3 forms. And you probably already guessed where I was going with them. But you need to know how to write them. All of them. And we're going to do that today. So the first one is the letter of gratitude. This is the easiest, yet it's often the least written. It's not just thank you. It's thank you for a specific action or reaction even. And once you name that, then it made me feel. State the impact of how it made you feel. Focus on that impact. For example, thank you for showing up to my school play. That was the action. That made me feel like my dreams mattered. That was the impact. So it wasn't just thank you. And, a lot of us, we hear thank you, blah, 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 blah. Or thanks. And there's really no emotion behind it. When you actually state thank you for, and this is how it made me feel, it means something. It means so much more than thanks. There is real weight, one of the rocks behind it. So that is our letter of gratitude. Pretty easy, right? Okay. Excuse me, I have to take a drink. Okay. Next letter. Letter of apology. This is the hardest. And I know I might get some backlash in the comments for this because we still have one more left to go. And I guess it's in the way you look at it or what it's about. But the letter of apology, it has to be 100% focused on your actions with no excuses. And remember, we talked about forgiveness. And we discussed, that it can't be, I'm sorry, but. Because remember the but? That leaves an opening for an excuse. Or what could be perceived as an excuse. You might perceive it as an explanation. However, it comes across as an excuse. That rock you took out for the thank you, you just put back in. So stop that. You got rid of it. Don't put it back. Don't put it back. Your letter of apology has to include 3 things. There's 3 main parts to it. I'm sorry for your action, whatever that was. I recognize that my action caused you, and what you believe or has been expressed to you, specifically what it caused them, that pain, the frustration, the anger, the reaction. And then you need to end it with, I promise to, what you're going to do in the future to avoid doing that again. Because what good is an apology without any kind of discussion and plan to change? We all do it. No better than anybody else. I have said I'm sorry and turned around and done the same thing again. How sorry was I really? Then there is the I am sorry and I will try. That's a whole different thing, isn't it? Because at least now I'm willing to see my behavior is an issue or my action is an issue and I am going to work on fixing that. If you can't do all 3 of those, it's not really a full apology. And I don't mean to be mean about it, but it's the truth. Final letter. The letter of forgiveness. The letter of apology really is the hardest. Probably because you have to own all of it. The letter of forgiveness is not meant to be hard, but there is that connection in there. that emotional feeding, as you can see from my response. The letter of forgiveness is for you, not for anybody else but you. You can forgive someone without them asking. And you can even forgive someone who isn't alive anymore. This letter states the pain, acknowledges your anger, and formally declares, I am choosing to release this hurt for my own peace. You don't have to send it, but you do need to write it. I can tell you from my own personal experience, writing it is a very freeing feeling. It's more than one rock out of my backpack. I can tell you that. And there may be people that you want to forgive or need to forgive in your life, and you'd like to send it to them. By all means, do that. Just remember the forgiveness is for you, ultimately. But there are people that have come to you with the letter of not a letter. Maybe it's somebody's wrote you a letter, but with the clear apology. And at that time, you weren't ready to forgive them. But when you choose to, you could let them know. I have done letters of forgiveness, and as I said, it's very freeing. I will also tell you, though, that I burned them. I didn't just write it, crumple it, throw it away, even though it's a really good thing because you're visually seeing it, throw it away. That's 2 more rocks, yay. But I burn it because it's no longer part of my soul. The anger, the disappointment, all the yucky feelings. I mean, we need those feelings, but I don't want to carry them. I don't want it. Now that I've discussed the 3 letters, how do we do letter to life? Well, a letter is just a piece of paper until you decide to deliver it. The easiest way to start delivering is to make it a micro practice. Instead of a huge conversation, practice giving one specific word affirmation or one immediate humble apology every time you realize you've messed up. Don't wait for a dramatic moment. Let today be the moment. You don't need the drama. That's just another rock disguised as life. Stop. So I'm going to ask you to try something this week. And it's pretty simple. Choose one person and one letter. Don't wait. Draft your letter. And if it's a letter of gratitude, a letter of apology, or forgiveness, write it. Then either deliver the message in person. If you can't do that because they're far away, send a text. Or, you can buy a stamp and you can actually mail it. I know it's easier, text, email. There's something personal about a handwritten letter. So that's always an option. Just keep that in the back of your mind. So we can send it, or you can read the letter out loud to yourself if it's a letter of forgiveness. And once you've done that, you can throw it away, you can save it, you can burn it, you can do whatever makes your soul happy. Just do it. The weight of unsaid words is a choice. And I hope you choose freedom today. And if this resonated with you, or you think it might be helpful to someone you know, share it with them. Also, don't be afraid to like this. Don't be afraid to subscribe. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. I appreciate the comments that I've gotten and the interaction. It brings a peace to my soul to know that in some ways something resonated with you and you might have found one helpful thing, or you might have been able to put down a rock or two. And I will be back next week, and I'm excited for that. So as I leave you, be kind, be grateful, stay humble.